Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Todd. Here we go. The last show of January. Can you believe that? It's the 31st. Yeah. I just said it was the last day of January, and I don't remember what the day was. Ladies and gentlemen, it is cold here at Coffee with Todd headquarters. The last time I checked, it was minus 9 degrees. I do believe it's gone up. I think. Let's look. Oh, man, we've warmed up. Minus 4 degrees. Good God. For those of you that are watching outside of Vermont, if you're in a warmer climate like Florida or Georgia or California or anywhere that's not Vermont, let me show you on this piece of paper towel where in Vermont we're located. This is... I tore this morning. This is Vermont, and Coffee with Todd is right here, and this is Canada. Coffee with Todd in the frozen tundras of New England. I'm going to get myself a cup of coffee. Good morning, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Good morning, Jared. Good morning, Mark. Oh, the gang is all here and piling in. We've got a great show this morning. Let me tell you about it, but let me get a cup of coffee. Let's see how this is going to go. I made a whoops this morning. When I made the coffee, I forgot to put the top part on this thing. So this pause and serve thing was not active, and all the coffee just stayed in the reservoir and started boiling over. So I think Danielle is now in charge of making coffee on Sundays. It seems to be coming out okay. I don't know how many coffee grounds are going to be mixed up in this. Let's see. The test. Maybe that's the trick. It's not bad.
It wasn't bad.
It's not super hot because...
It's minus 4.
It's because it's minus 4.
Even the coffee doesn't want to stay up.
Oh my. Oh my Lanta. All right. This morning we have on the show singer-songwriter from New Hampshire, where it's probably 1 degree. Manchester, New Hampshire, I believe. Paul Nelson is a singer-songwriter from there. Paul and I have ran in the same circles for a couple of years, but never actually met each other until today. And next Sunday, a singer-songwriter from Burlington, Vermont area, Adam Rabin, is going to be on the show. And that will be, that'll be Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Won't it? Maybe we'll have chips and dips and snacks. Anyway, let's get the show started. I'm excited to introduce you all to Paul Nelson and see what other shenanigans happen here this morning. All right, grab yourself a cup of coffee, and I'll be your Todd. Coffee with Todd starts right now. All right, here we go. Coffee with Todd. Coffee hands. Good morning, Susan. Lisa's in South Carolina. I bet it's way warmer in South Carolina. She says, go Chiefs. Super Bowl's next week. We should have we should do something for the Super Bowl. We should have do we have a football we can put on the mantle or something? I don't think we have a football. I think we have a basketball. We could be idiots and put a basketball on the mantle and say, hey, it's the Super Bowl. That actually would be kind of hilarious. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Coffee with Todd. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're here each and every Sunday morning, it means the absolute world to me. Our guest coming up in just a few minutes is singer-songwriter Paul Nelson from the New Hampshire area. I can't wait to introduce you all to him and listen to him sing a few songs. Good morning, Leslie, down in Connecticut. Good morning, Rita. Your grandmother's on.
Hi, Grammy.
Good morning, Susan. Colleen, good morning. Yeah, I try it. Good morning, Paul. I try to be chipper every morning. But today was a little different. If you're just tuning in, we basically spilled the coffee as we were making it through the coffee pot this morning. So Coffee with Todd is strong, but not very hot this morning. Paul. I mentioned that next Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, Paul wrote, "Go Sports!" Go Sports. We walk backwards. I know you're coming back again. 'Cause isolation, it creeps right under your skin. Well, all these times that you say you won't give in, you walk backwards and come full circle again. Oh, call me crazy, but this time I ain't scared. Well, it's been 5 years and I've never really been prepared. Battlefield will only give you scars. So come back again, 'cause this time I got a plan. I like to make your heart burn. Well, I think that you stopped trying. I'd like to make you learn that there ain't no reason to be hiding beneath those tears that your disguise is providing. Lose that crutch, or well, I think you cried too much. And it's always the same, you're just telling me that I don't love you. Well, then you say that you don't love me either. It takes a man to admit he's wrong. Hey! Tell me, how can that change when you keep running back to his arms? I'd like to make your heart burn. Well, I think that you stopped trying. I'd like to make you learn All right, that should wake us everybody up. Wake us everybody.
Everybody up.
That should wake us everybody up. Holy crap! Do I need more coffee this morning? Woo! Let's get our guest on the show. See if we can get things back on track. We've gone a little off the rails this morning. Good morning, Tina. Yeah, sorry to hear about that. I can play something for him. Absolutely. I'll do it after we talk with Paul. I think I have just the perfect song in mind. Hey, we got an invitation to go down to South Carolina and warm up.
Sweet.
We're on it. We're on the next plane. I just canceled all my emails from Southwest, though. We haven't been flying. I want to bring Paul on in a second, but we haven't flown for a while now, obviously, pandemic and all. And Southwest Airlines sends me 6,000 emails a day with all their great friggin' rates. Now, I unsubscribe every day, and they keep sending me some. Southwest, there's nowhere to go. What? Great, I can go anywhere I want to for $52. I can do that with my car, and it doesn't cost nothing because I don't go nowhere. So take me off your list if you're working for Southwest and for some reason you're watching Coffee with Todd, which I know you're not. See, there's this thing, like I have an email list, and when somebody unsubscribes, you know what I do? I unsubscribe them. Okay, enough of that. I need more coffee. Woo! Getting heated on Coffee with Todd this morning.
That's how you're warming it up, huh? It's too damn cold.
Okay. Real quick, there is PayPal and Venmo links down here. By supporting with Coffee with Todd, you help keep us on the air by keeping the internet bill fed and by keeping the electric bill fed. And if you've noticed, the furnace has been running the whole time we've been doing Coffee with Todd because it's minus 406 here in Vermont.
And we spill coffee everywhere. So
And we spill coffee. It's just one of them mornings. But yeah, if you'd like to support the show, that would mean the world to me. Now, if you don't have the means to do it, then by all means, don't. But if you can, kick a couple bucks. Or if you want something cool, you can get yourself one of these official Coffee with Todd coffee mugs. We still have a few in stock. We'll mail them right out to you. And if you like my music and you are old school and you don't believe in Spotify, I've got a CD for sale.
Or you believe in both.
Or you believe in both. You can listen on Spotify but buy the album. You can't open up a Spotify account and pull out a CD. It just can't be done. Okay, enough gibberish. Let's get my guest on the air this morning. And Tina, I'll play a song for you after we talk to Paul. I promise. I think I got the right one. But now let's get our guest on here. Singer-songwriter Paul Nelson. I'm so excited to finally meet him. Let's get him on. There he is. Good morning.
Good morning.
Cheers.
Hot and black.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I put a little bit of cream in mine, but no sugar. No sugar. No sugar this morning in my coffee, and never sugar in my tea.
Who is that? That's the Guess Who.
The Guess Who. That's right.
Yeah.
That is the Guess Who.
I'm dating myself. Don't tell my girlfriend. Yeah.
I won't say nothing. Your secret is safe with me. It's so nice to meet you. We kind of run in the same circles, and but we've never crossed paths. So
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
you're in Manchester, New Hampshire, which is that correct?
That is the Queen City.
The Queen City.
Yeah, follow the crown to downtown. Yeah.
When a lot of people think of New Hampshire, they probably think of the Manchester area because it's very well known and they think it's super north. But I'm super north.
Yeah, you're super north.
The last time we flew in, we came up from Baltimore and we flew into Manchester, and there was no snow on the ground whatsoever. And by the time we got home, there were 2 feet of snow in our driveway.
Yeah, Bob Newhart's hotel is probably near you. You're way up there.
Oh yeah, Bob Newhart's hotel.
You know that show, the Bob Newhart show.
Oh yeah,
He ran a hotel up there.
yeah. Well, I wonder if it was based on there's a place called Dixville Notch, which is actually in New Hampshire.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is, I bet it was based on that. Now that I think about it, it used to be this old hotel that like celebrities would come up to get away from it all, and it's in the mountains, and
Yeah, there's a lot of that around here.
yeah, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we're only 50 miles, from Boston. So, but
That's-
what a difference! What a difference that 50 miles makes.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how's COVID been treating you? I'm assuming like everybody else, all the shows stopped.
Yeah, all the shows stopped. I went right away to, like everybody else, to doing live streams. I've been doing my own. I've shared a couple. I did one last month with Kim Moberg. I did the Ellis Paul tribute through Passim. I did their Christmas thing, which is always a treat. Campfire series. So I've just been staying busy.
Great.
And then some local venues, like we have a really nice museum. They started doing outdoor shows.
Cool.
Yeah, so I would do outdoor shows on the lawn in the evening, and they'd serve dinner, and so I did, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 of those, and then I actually have a gig this Friday.
Really?
Indoors.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We're allowed. It can't be a band, and it has to have enough space. It's at a brewery, a local craft place. I've played there twice, or this is my second time. Yeah, and it's big and it's warehousey, so no one's around. No one's up in your face, and it's great. So, but yeah.
That's super cool. I forgot to tell you, we saw you during the Ellis Paul tribute, which that whole thing was fantastic, and it was like 4 hours long, but it didn't feel like it.
Yeah, and then Dan Byrne closes it out.
Oh,
saying,
Dan Byrne, man.
Yeah, he wanted to kill the guy. He says who, but they talked him out of it. Who did a drive-in movie? And I'm sitting there going, boy, like that Adam Sandler movie. Glad I called that guy.
There's something about Dan Byrne, man. Like, he is just so captivating. He had the worst camera angle, the worst sound. He was like looking up at his nose, and he was playing the piano and just transfixed.
It didn't matter, because I think what people see is they see the real article, authentic. And I've seen him at some songwriting retreats, and he comes in with a tennis racket in clothes that looks like he just finished painting a room. It's spackled, and he's a trip. And he did like a one-on-one with me. Actually, one of my songs, Colored Blue, off the Over Under Through album, he kind of inspired that. We were in this room, and he said, okay, I want you to write. That's exact. I was waiting until he started drinking. He says, okay, I want you to write about something that you do well. And we're all thinking there, what do I do well? And in the last year and stuff, I kind of, you're still finding your style. I said, well, I kind of make everything sound bluesy. So I kind of went he says, all right, you have 10 minutes and go off into your corner. So I went into like the lunchroom or something, and I came up with the hook for Colored Blue. Yeah. But he's a funny guy, but he's authentic. He's not putting on anything, and I think we all feel that.
Yeah.
That's
cool. I've always wanted to see him live. I haven't yet, but
yeah, and
someday.
And he's right in there with Vance Gilbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are who they are. No apologies. and they are a riot.
Didn't Dan Byrne like chop off part of his fingers in a snowblower thing?
Yeah, a year or two ago, right after he finished the what was it, the song retreat that I was at a couple of years ago. You know, he in a snowstorm. Yeah, he cut off part of his finger or something. Couldn't play, so I haven't seen him play since then, except the piano. You know,
I did a show in New Jersey at a place called the Lizzie Rose Music Room, and Dan Byrne was coming like 2 weeks later, and I kind of asked the sound guy, I'm like, how the hell is that? Because it just happened. And he goes, oh, he's bringing somebody to play guitar for him. And I'm like, oh, well,
wow.
At least he's still on the road. I forgot to ask you my famous question. Who is Paul Nelson?
Who is Paul Nelson?
My famous question.
Yeah.
Who is, who was?
So the basic truth, and this is a long story, is I'm a son of a preacher man. In one
like
sentence. For real? Yeah. So I was trying to think because I've watched some of your shows and I know that question's coming. I know it's coming. And you know, how many words can we say? You know, but son of a preacher man, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like,
so your father was a preacher. What kind?
He still is. Yeah, holy rollers, tambourines.
Really?
Not quite that. Not backflips down the aisles or anything, but you know, full Pentecostal, full on. Wow. You know, but we love everybody. You know, and so if you listen to my songs, a lot of that stuff leaks in. But I was just coming up with a one-liner. But
yeah, no, I love it. It's perfect. It's kind of like, are you familiar with Paul Thorne?
Yeah.
His dad was a Pentecostal preacher as well. And
yeah,
boy, does that gospel seep into his music.
Yeah, I think he's got a song. He's something 2,000 pound Jesus. He's like a cement Jesus he bought at a yard sale.
Yeah, and then he decides he's gonna kill himself, and he jumps off the tree, and the big Jesus catches him in his arms.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Paul Thorne. That's he's a great guy.
So that's interesting. So you obviously grew up in the church. Is that where your love of music started?
Yeah, probably. And you know, I don't want to say we were sheltered or restricted on purpose, but you know, I didn't know there was much beyond maybe, I mean, the secular world to me was Neil Diamond, because I have older siblings, you know, and the Beatles, these guys, yeah. And so I heard all that stuff, but mostly it was gospel quartets, the Oak Ridge Boys, and I kind of liked that stuff. It felt safe and secure. I didn't know that until I started to go out into the world, but it wasn't until my mid-teens or something that I even realized there was something else. I picked up a guitar, and one of my youngest sister's boyfriends came in, and he said, "Oh, you're learning guitar, huh?" And he said, "You got to listen to this." And he gave me Neil Young's Harvest. Ooh. And I think that basically started the whole thing for me.
Such a great album.
Yeah. Did
you like sing in church, like in the choir or any of that stuff?
No. I mean, I just sat in the pew, and I was probably the worst behaved kid, you know, there, you know, because I just
that about preachers.
Yeah, PKs. They call us PKs, you know, and in my 30s and stuff, I did, you know, I've done spotty, you know, music worship leader type things. They find out you can sing, you can play a guitar, and you can write, and all of a sudden you're in charge of something, you know. And so
you're the worship, what do they call it, the worship team, or
the worship leader and stuff, and and so, you know, I've kind of come full circle on that, and I'm glad I have that background, but I'm not in attendance anywhere now, but anyways, yeah, so that was my one-liner. But
you've turned to the devil's music, have you?
my mother she used to call it devil's music or boing boing music. She just had some funny. Yeah.
Well, it's so so many musicians, when you read their bios or about them, you find that they grew up in the church, like singing in the choir, and that sparked their love for music. And I was raised Catholic, so we didn't like anything.
Yeah.
And, I mean, our music wasn't really. There was a choir, but it wasn't. The first time I ever went to I went to a Southern Baptist church in Nashville, Tennessee. I was recording down there, and the bass player, I was staying with him and his family, and he was leading the praise team that day. And I went, and of course, all the musicians are like studio recording or
Oh yeah.
musicians, and the choir got up and they're clapping, and it's just amazing. And I was like, what is this? Because I just heard on the name of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
You know.
But I will tell you though, when you go full circle or go to the other extreme, and everything is so free and anything goes, and there's synthesizers and there's keyboards, and everyone's getting the latest this and that. I saw a video this morning that said able tutorial for worship leaders, Ableton.
Oh yeah.
How to use Ableton Live for that. So, but my point was that I've gone kind of full circle, and I kind of appreciate that nostalgic liturgical kind of some boundaries, Yeah. So anyways, yeah.
I agree. I'm not I wouldn't describe myself as a religious person by any means, but I love gospel music. There's just something about how it makes you feel, and the melodies and how it's put together. I love it. I don't know, but I don't do it myself.
Yeah, and so a lot of this, a lot of the influences I have kind of come from there. That's just the song structure and different things like that. So
you certainly have. I listened to your album Over, Under, Through, and then I listened to your two newer songs, and you definitely have a blues influence in there.
Yeah. As much as we have in our head, we have what we want to be. Yeah, boy, I'd love to sound like John Mayer or David Gray.
Sure.
But that album, that's kind of just what came out, and then the people that were on it, they kind of added such great flavor to it. That's just they see in what you write. And songs like Go Down Ezekiel, I kind of knew it was bluesy and swampy, but not that much.
Where did you record it?
We recorded in Newburyport with a guy named Tom Eaton. I don't know if you know Tom.
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, and he is the co-producer over at Will Ackerman's studio in Brattleboro.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we recorded there. We recorded the whole thing live.
Vocals and everything.
Yeah, which meant that we had to wait for everyone. Kevin Barry was out there. He was touring with. He was supporting. I think it was Roseanne Cash, and I had to wait for him to have a couple windows. And he's a tremendous guitar player and a fantastic person. And then John Sands, who was watching the show the other night, I was so tickled about that. He's the drummer. He was up in Canada with Amy Mann. So I'm waiting for these guys, waiting for a window. And we did 2 weekends. I think one was in December and one was in February. Yeah. Two 2.5 day sessions. And then of course, it's easier. I would call Kevin or we had Kristen Cifelli, who lives, actually she lives across from Chris Trapper down in south of Boston. She came up and we would do these onesie twosie overdubs, but it was all done live. Yep.
That's amazing.
We did takes until we got it right.
That's so cool. that's a lost art that's not done very much, and some of it's convenience. Like I record all my stuff at home basically, and to a click track, and my friends come in and play on it, and I don't mix my own stuff, but the live thing, I'll tell you, I'm primarily an acoustic guitar guy. Like, I love acoustic guitars. I love how they smell and how they feel and how
yeah.
But my high school band, we've kind of reformed during this COVID thing, and we're recording the debut album that we never recorded in high school. So
that's neat.
So I've been playing electric guitar more, and when I listened to your album, this is something that 2 months ago I wouldn't have picked up on, but I was like, damn, the electric guitarist tone on this album is amazing.
It is amazing, yeah.
And that's the guy you were talking about?
Yeah, that's Kevin Barry, and for sure it's Tom Eaton. He is he's a whiz. He's coming up, and I caught him on the way up, and what a nice guy. And it took a long time for him to mix this and master it. Yeah. Just because he has another job, which is working for Will, doing all kinds of projects. So he would come back, and he likes to mix and master in his own place. So he had to be back in Newburyport.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kevin's tone is
beautiful.
Is so beautiful, and he's just, I was looking at his soundboard, see what he had.
Oh yeah, you gotta check out the gear, man.
yeah.
I definitely picked up on the blues stuff, and I don't know who all of your influences are, but is there a little bit of Tom Waits influence by any chance?
Yeah, there's some Tom Waits in there.
I could hear it in some of the songs. I was like, what? Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tom Waits. A lot of reviewers would say that they heard a lot of J.J. Cale.
Yeah,
sure. Kind of stuff in there.
The newer songs are there's still blues elements, but they're a little more removed.
Yeah, they're a departure. They were kind of. I just wanted to do something. I needed something fresh, so I called Tom. Maybe about a year ago. We met in a diner, and he said, "Tom, I have about 6 songs. Let's just see if I can get an EP or some singles." Okay. And so, we recorded Paths to Glory and Low Country, but they're 2 totally different elements.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, and I Paths to Glory was new. It was I had just finished it, but Low Country actually was in the running for the Over Under Through project. Yeah. But it got nixed only because we had enough good ones. So
which one did you release? Low Country first or Paths to Glory first?
It was Low Country was first. That was in May, and then in June I released Paths to Glory. Yeah.
I always get confused as how Spotify chronicles things, but I did my homework. I listened to the entire Over Under Through album. I listened to the 2 new songs. So you should be getting about 3/4 of a cent for your Spotify royalties.
Right. Did you follow me though?
I don't know if I followed you. I'm really bad at Spotify. I don't think I really follow anybody, but you know what? I'm going to do it right now. I'll show you. Let's do it right now.
Right now.
So here's Paul Nelson. So there he is.
And there's the top of my head. Yeah.
Follow.
Oh, sweet.
All right.
All right, we're done here.
All right. Have a good morning. I'm so bad. I have a love-hate relationship with Spotify and all these things because on the one hand, for artists like you and I, we wouldn't have been able to literally put our music out into the world for everybody to hear without distribution and a record label. But on the other hand, I feel like it's the digitization of everything has made music like this commodity that you just don't have the same relationship that you
right.
When you
yeah.
So I'm glad that we didn't have Spotify when I was a kid, because going to a record store, or CDs in my case,
Mm-hmm.
and going through the bins and discovering stuff, or just like, oh, who the hell's this? The artwork's cool. Let's buy it. You know, on Spotify and Apple Music, there's just infinite numbers of.
Yeah, and listening, I was, part of the vinyl age. Listening was more deliberate. It was an experience. You got that album. You had the liner notes. You pulled it out of the sleeve. You took the dust off. You opened the cover to the turntable. You put it on. You choose what song you want. If you want to skip, or you listen to, so it was much more deliberate, and it was much more of an experience. So I don't have a lot of vinyl now, but I have a lot of CDs. And the other day I was looking for a CD player that I could have in the room that would look like a turntable, so I could lift it up and put it on. And
we have one of those at my office. I'll sell it to you.
I'll sell it to you.
We don't use it for anything.
Yeah. So,
yeah, man. There's vinyl or CDs or cassette tapes or anything. Like, you bought it, you were invested in it. So you listen to it more than once. And I find, even though as much as I love music, I'll have Discover Weekly on Spotify, and I'll hear this song that's great, and then I never go check the artist out. Like,
mm-hmm.
And it's not because I don't want to. It's because I got 35 text messages, and at least if you bought a bad CD or album, you're gonna listen to it anyway because you paid for that thing. Damn it!
Right.
And then it grows on you.
Yeah, and I would say, and I totally share that love-hate thing, because I'm on Instagram, and a lot on Instagram. I do a lot of posting that, but it's strictly just for the music. I follow people who make whiskey and do art, but I don't really, and some musicians, but I do it because I feel like it's exposure. And the same thing with Spotify. And we know the realistic thing is that it's mostly younger people, and it's a certain type of pop music, a certain type of, that is really ruling the waves. I could be wrong in that, but blues and gospel and folk, they get played, but they're not making the tens of thousands to millions of views that it takes to get paid. And the reality is, you really win some loyal fans and friends by playing live.
I was just going to say, like, Spotify never really bothered me because I love playing live. And unfortunately, for the past year, that's been taken away from all of us. But it'll come back. But I agree with you 1,000%. Like, that's how you really build a following. It's the old-fashioned way of doing it, I guess. But man, there's nothing like sharing a moment with an audience, and a moment that will never happen again.
Yeah, and now on live streams, we have to watch for the little hearts coming up the screen. And you can't even really see who did it. Oh, who's that little icon?
Yeah, it's so fast. It's like their face, and it turns into a heart or whatever. Was it weird for you, like, when you first started doing live streams, like, you end the song and then you don't know what to do?
Yeah. And I've evolved because I talk a whole lot more now, and my girlfriend, she coaches me. You ought to talk a lot about what the songs are about, and actually the other night I was forgetting some of my words because when you stop playing regularly, and I don't play as regular as a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys in these bigger towns that. They're not doing as much as they used to, but they would do 4 or 5 restaurants a week.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to play the Eagles that much, or play that song Closing Time, or whatever. I just didn't want to take the time or have an iPad in front of me and play covers. So.
Man, 100%.
But I was doing, 4 shows a month or something.
It's about what I do, yeah.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is how I became a songwriter. I'm going to ask you how you you became one too, but how I became a songwriter is I didn't have the patience to learn other people's songs. So I'd learn a couple chords and I just write a bunch of my own. And I found out later on that doing covers is beneficial because it helps you learn, but I still don't really enjoy doing them unless I want to. How did you, like, when did you start writing music? Was
it was, I mentioned Neil Young's Harvest album and stuff. As soon as I started kind of listening to that, it was like a bug. It wasn't until I heard that acoustic music that I started writing songs. And I was probably a junior in high school, maybe, something like that, that I started writing songs. I only had a handful, and I can kind of remember some of them. I probably couldn't play them, but, I had a song called Pioneer. I had a song called Elaine, and they're all like 2 or 3 chords. But I agree. I learned a lot of my guitar stuff and writing style and arranging from listening to people like Stephen Stills, Neil Young, of course the Beatles. Yeah. Like everybody else, listening to Dan Fogelberg. It was an amazing writer, producer. I mean, he's a little heavy. I mean, every song's about a breakup. Yeah. But he was just he was amazing. So I would listen to those guys, but I was writing the whole time. Yeah.
That's great, man. Yeah, it's a different ball of wax, right? Writing and performing original music. It can be a lot harder, but I feel like it's very rewarding.
It is, yeah. And I only started really playing my songs recently, the last 2.5, 3 years. So is when I started playing.
You hadn't really released any music prior to that?
No. Back in the day, I had like a Tascam 4, and I would record on a cassette tape and stuff. But back in the 90s, I was down at Cambridge 2 or 3 times a week. And then we kind of had to pull the plug on that because I was bringing some of my kids with me and I had a day job. And but no, I didn't really try to. I kind of just petered out and I was doing music and stuff, but it wasn't until I had started playing out a little bit, and then I got online on Facebook, and I just came across this post by Ellis Paul, and it said that he would mentor you on different things like songwriting or arranging, guitar playing, career development, bing. And so I got a hold of him. We did a Zoom, or not Zoom, what was it?
It was probably Skype back.
It was Skype, yeah. So we did a Skype session, and the first thing he says is, "Have I met you before?" And it had been a long, long time. But and then the second Skype session, he said, "Hey, I'm playing in Dover, New Hampshire. Do you want to open for me?" And I said, "Hold on, let me check." So that was it. And after that that opening for him. Now here I think I'd done a couple shows and had just started maybe writing some stuff again. And so I opened for him, and then, people were asking for, do you have anything released or do you have any albums? And I go, well, not really. And so after the show, we're sitting there's a place called Red and Shorty's in Dover. It's just a great small little venue that's attached to their house. So I think he was drinking bourbon, and I was drinking wine. And he says, "We really got to get you in a studio somewhere." And I said, "Well, I just don't know where that would be or who that would be or who would play with me." And he goes, "Don't worry about that." And so I'm in the supermarket a couple days later, and my phone's in my back pocket, and I can hear it start going ding, ding. And so I'm getting emails, and it's from Ellis Paul, and he says, here's a number to a guy named Tom Eaton. He's in Newburyport. Why don't you go meet him and talk to him and play some songs for him?" and that was in 2017 in the spring. Yeah, and then I started recording with him that winter.
Wow.
And I wrote the whole album pretty much up until then, except 2 songs I wrote in between in like January the following year.
Wow.
Yeah, so
what a cool way to like get back into it. And
it is, yeah, and it's been, you go from playing in your living room to presenting your stuff in front of people. And so I don't know if you've ever been to an air show. I've got a son in the Air Force, but I've gone to some air shows, and when those jets, they're flying like this, and then they go 90 degrees and straight up, and that's what it's been like. It's like, I go from nothing to being in the studio with these people who are, playing with some significant people. I don't know them, but Tom said no. But they said yes. So I said, you send them demos, and they said yes, and they go, okay. And it was the coolest experience.
I bet.
Yeah, and they're just so down to earth. They like my girlfriend better because at different shows or something, when they've supported me, she cooks, and they just can't get enough of her food. She's the real deal. But
that's cool.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been a whirlwind, and
that's
yeah,
great.
And I've been loving it, and so I get to meet all these new people, and like you.
Yeah. What was it like your first show, other than like doing a couple restaurants, and Ellis Paul's standing in the back watching you? I'm assuming, because he usually does that.
Yeah.
Were you nervous or?
I wasn't nervous. I'm not a young guy. I'm not a super old guy, but he says, you have some advantages because you look at life differently, and it's important. I'm always there early. I know when to talk, know when not to talk. So I wasn't nervous. I think I was just so thrilled, that he wanted me to play. I just felt so privileged, and if I've learned anything from that guy, I've learned a lot, but if I had to take one thing away is how he treats people, how he talks to people, and just makes them feel so good and so welcome. And it's not a put on; it's real. And I've learned that a lot, just how he acts.
Yeah, you can't say enough good things about him. He's helped so many people. And
yeah,
I remember the first time I met him, I opened for him at Higher Ground in Burlington, and my girlfriend is a fan of his from before she met me, and she'd been going to see him forever. So we walk into Higher Ground, and we walk out back, and he comes right up and he says, "Hi, I'm Ellis Paul." And we're like, "Oh, no shit."
Yeah.
But I've learned since then that not everybody's like that, but everybody should be like that. 'Cause that's the way to be.
Yeah, he's very approachable, and others are not. I mean, and you don't get that when they're standing behind the microphone. You see one thing, but then when they're sitting waiting, and I have to examine myself too, because just the expression on someone's face makes you think one thing, but you may not be feeling that way, but people's perception, and you just feel like, you're just so welcome. You're a long lost friend.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Well, let's want to do some music?
Yeah. I was trying to think of what to do.
I if I were you, I would start with Freebird, and then I would probably do like what's some other?
Yeah, what songs that you want to hear?
Dust in the Wind. And,
yeah, you can do all those.
Kid Rock song All Summer Long. Well, yeah, but God, don't play Wagon Wheel, please.
Yeah. All right. So why don't I have the capo on the right place? So
okay. I'm gonna hit mute on my microphone.
Okay. So this is a song. I think it's track number 5 on the album, over, under, through. It's called Alice Mullen. And Alice Mullen was a little girl that I knew when I was in, I think, first grade. And my dad being a pastor, we traveled all over the place. He would start a congregation, build the church and all that stuff, and we'd go with him. But in Hicksville, Ohio, this cute, beautiful little girl with freckles, and her name was Alice Mullen. And so this song kind of starts off about her, because I was thinking about, where are these people in our life, that meant so much when we were young. I wonder what she's doing. So that's what this song's about. Well, Alice Mullen ain't a friend of mine. She's just a face that I left behind. What she's doing and who she loves, a million questions I've been thinking of. Now melancholy ain't a state of mind. It's a sea that swallows me. It's an ocean wide. I could swim forever and never reach dry land. I'm going under, won't you give me your hand? See, I'm a blind man with a vision. I'm reaching for the golden pair. But will I make that one decision that will put me there, that will put me there? Now there's a girl who can chase these blues away, with eyes the color of an autumn day. We're so close, yet so far apart. Will she ever say the words that will heal my heart? Well, I'm a wise man with no answers. I'm just a fool in his prime. I'm on the road to sweet redemption. Am I running out of time? Am I running out of time? Yeah, I'm a wise man with no answers. I'm just a fool in his prime. I'm on the road to sweet redemption. Am I running out of time? Am I running out of time? Alice Mullen, she ain't a friend of mine. She's just a face that I left behind. What she's doing and who she loves, a million questions I've been thinking of. Alice Mullen, Alice Mullen, ooh. Chris Mullen.
Yeah, man. I'm so glad you played that one. So that's my favorite song on your album.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I loved it. I didn't know who Alice was, but you told us.
I told you, yeah.
That's great, man.
Yeah, it starts with her, and then it just kind of wanes reflective after that. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love the melody and everything. And I got to bring up the dorkiness thing. What kind? I know that's a Martin guitar, right?
Yes, it's a triple O 15M mahogany.
I love it.
The whole album was recorded on a mahogany guitar, but that's a Guild M20.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it the Nick Drake model.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the whole album. That when I'm playing acoustic guitar, it's on that one. But this is what I play out with all the time.
Yeah, I love Martin, and I love mahogany.
Mm-hmm.
I was I don't know if you're a big acoustic guitar dork like me, and you just always read stuff about acoustic guitars, but I read on all these forums on Facebook that I'm part of, and everybody's like talking about how great Rosewood is, and Rosewood this and Rosewood that, and I got a Rosewood guitar finally, and nope, mahogany all the way. Rosewood's beautiful, but I was very disappointed that I spent all that money.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had some kind of expensive guitars. I had a real nice Taylor, but I tend to like the narrowness of this.
Yeah.
And it's just so playable, and the spruce tops for me are just very bright. I can really attack this guitar, and I don't feel like it's too much, because the mahogany just kind of has some restraint.
I agree, and it's also got some dirt on it too. Like you can get some grit in there.
Yeah.
Well, for the part of the audience that doesn't care about guitars, the dorkiness section is officially over.
Yeah.
What other songs do you have for us?
Let's see. Maybe I'll play something new.
Okay.
Why don't I do? Let's see. I'll do something I released. I released this in May. This is a single. It's called Low Country. When I was in the nuclear Navy, yes, folks, I was a bubblehead. I was on a submarine, and I was stationed in the holy city of South Carolina, Charleston.
Okay.
And so I wrote this song. I finished it around the time of the album. I only had one verse, and just I just had that little. That's all I had, and then I said, "Oh, gee," and so I started thinking about my time in South Carolina, and that's where this one came from. And I went back to Newburyport and recorded that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's hear it, man.
All right. Low Country. Oh, I have to do the proper start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Way down in the low country, where the air moves warm and sweet, catfish and fried okra fill your head on Market Street, south of Broad where the doorknobs shine. No, that's not how that goes. Let's see, I haven't toured enough. Basket ladies on the step. Oh, that painted hat man still smiles that smile. Been too long from the steaming sultry. Gotta head back for a while to that low country. Low country. to a graceful pace. Sweet tea and magnolias, smiles greet you on every face. South of Broad where the doorknobs shine, well, that's where I met that little girl of mine. No need to worry about running late as you pass that pineapple gate down in the low country, yeah. Low country, low country, come with me. Floating easy on the lazy river, folks waving as you pass, staring up through the mossy branches. Oh Lord, let this daydream last. Floating easy on the lazy river, folks waving as you pass, staring up through the mossy branches. Oh Lord, let this daydream last. Down here in the low country, where the air moves warm and sweet, catfish, fried okra, fill your head on Market Street. Down in the low country, yeah. Low country, yeah. Low country. All true.
That's great, man.
Yeah, those are real places if you ever go. Yeah, I love it there.
Do you like sweet tea?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an acquired taste. When you first drink it, it's like, wow, this is sweet. But then, you drink it so much, you find you drink less coffee down there. I was stationed there, yeah, and the food, it's amazing. And the city. My wife at the time, she lived in one of those antebellum homes right on the water. The 3-story things. When I would go to pick her up, there was always a little tour carriage right in front of her house. And I'm waiting. Okay, yeah. So I got to experience the full deal.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
The first time I ever had sweet tea was in North Carolina, and the guy was like, "You ever had sweet tea?" And I was like, "Well, I've had Lipton Brisk or whatever." And he's like,
Yeah.
"That ain't sweet tea." And I took a sip of it, and I said, "Man, you can put this stuff on pancakes. We have the same stuff up north, but we call it maple syrup."
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's got some sugar in it for sure.
I'm actually not a fan of it. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Now if I was to have, in fact, I drink my coffee and my tea. I don't put anything in them. So if they ask me for a lemon in a restaurant or something, I'll live a little. Yeah, put some lemon in it. But other than that, it's pretty straight. I don't drink sugar in any of my. I don't like hot sweet drinks except maybe cocoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's acquired taste. Yeah.
Man, oh man, sweet tea. It's been a while. Danielle lived in Mississippi. You must have had sweet tea in Mississippi.
Yeah. Definitely right, acquired. Lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Well, we usually do 3 songs, so we'll do one more. You do a lot of open tunings, or are you a standard tuning kind of guy?
I'm a standard tuning guy. The closest thing I do is I do a lot of I leave the E string open, and that gets a little. Yeah, and I also do that on the album. I cover "I Walk the Line," and I do a D, and I leave the E. It's actually an E, and I leave the. I have it up on the 2nd fret. So.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite things.
So let's do this one. This one isn't recorded. It's in the queue.
Okay.
This one is called Dream World, and it definitely has a little hook to it. What kind of place is this that I awoke and found myself in? What kind of love is this that reached down to me in my sin? I look around me and I can't believe the beauty that I see. And the wonder of it all is that it radiates from the love you have for me, have for me, have for me. I was asleep in my little wake-believe world, unaware of what lay beyond the veil. A wave of grace broke over me, up to my heart in mercy, all into the realities of life. I say, if I'm dreaming, don't ever wake me. Let me sleep forever and a day. If I'm dreaming, baby, don't you come and shake me. Don't take my dream world away. And when I tell my friends everything you mean to me, I laugh and say I lost my mind, and that it's just a fantasy, fantasy. Oh, I know they're looking for an answer with their eyes. Oh, they believe what they see, and what they see is a clever disguise. They're fast asleep in their little make-believe world, satisfied to make it through another day. I'm praying that they see, praying that their eyes be open, open to the realities of life. And then they'll say with me, if I'm dreaming, don't ever wake me. Let me sleep forever and a day. If I'm dreaming, baby, don't you come and shake me. Don't take my dream world away. Don't take my dream world away. Oh, baby, don't you take it. Yeah, baby, 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 don't you take it. I was fast asleep in my little make-believe world, unaware of what lay beyond the veil. A wave of grace broke over me, up to my heart in mercy, pulled into the realities of life. And now I say, if I'm dreaming, don't ever wake me. Let me sleep forever and a day. If I'm dreaming, baby, don't you come and shake me. Don't take my dream world away. Yeah, yeah. If I'm dreaming, don't you ever wake me. Let me sleep forever and a day. If I'm dreaming, babe, don't you come and shake me. Don't take my dream world away. Don't take my dream world away. Don't take my dream world away. Dream World.
Yeah, man, that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
I love it. I love your voice. I love your style of guitar playing too. It's percussive, and you've got these little things that you do there.
It's called playing by yourself. Filling it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's great. I love it.
Thank you.
Damn it, I'm gonna have to practice now.
No, you sound fantastic. We all have our own sound, you know.
That's the whole thing. It's if anything has been a blessing in this weird time is that I've been able to meet so many cool people virtually through this. And you mentioned that this was in the queue. What's next for Paul Nelson?
So, I've been writing. I probably have about 15, 16 songs. I just have to see which ones pair well together.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start looking for a producer, and then from a producer will be a studio. And I'd like to get something going as soon as possible. I see people are at work, you know, they're in the studios and they're wearing masks. They're doing, you know, I'm fine with that. So I need to. My next step for me is to get demos of all these, some decent demos, and then send them out and see who's interested, and then we'll go back in and put another full-length release out. Hopefully, it'd be great if I could do it this year.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like I said, it's all new to me. I'm still blown away by the first album, and then, oh yeah, I got to do something else after this.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been working on my album for like 3 years, and we're gonna finish it up finally.
Yeah, and if you need any help, just let me know. If you get stuck on a word or you need someone to support or play, I'm happy to help.
Yeah, it'd be great. Well, I hope we can get a show together. Maybe this summer. I don't really know what's coming down the pike as far as venues and stuff, but
yeah, this Groundhog Day can't last forever.
can't. I know, right?
I don't know if you sit on the edge of your bed when you get up in the morning and go, here we go. And if we only got better at piano or something.
I know. You know, that's when I got a piano, a real piano. I've had it tuned twice and I still can't play the damn thing.
Yeah.
I use it as like, what note am I trying to? Okay, that's the note.
That's the note.
I really should have used quarantine time to like learn a new skill, but I just used it to eat food and get fatter.
And you're doing this.
And this, the coffee show.
This is fantastic.
I love this show. I'm so glad that it happened, and I am gonna say that the Coffee with Todd is not gonna stop once we can go back out on the road. I'm just gonna bring Coffee with Todd on the road.
Yeah.
So we could do this like in person.
No, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Well, hey man, let's do a virtual cheers. And thank you so much for coming on, man.
I tried to. Yeah, you're welcome. I tried to find a cup that said something funny, but I went with colorful.
I like it. I'm gonna have to send you one of these. I'm gonna be printing up a new batch soon, and I'll shoot one out your way.
Yeah, definitely. I'll use it.
Sweet. All right. Cheers, man.
All right. Cheers.
Right. Paul Nelson, everybody, from New Hampshire. Show him some love. Check him out online. It's his website is paulnelsonofficial.com, and on Facebook it's Paul Nelson Music. I put some links on here, but I just figured out how the links work on my end. So if you're watching on my official music page or YouTube or Twitter, the links are there. If you're watching on my personal Facebook page, the links don't go there. I don't know why. I pay for this service, and I don't know, but I'll post it after. Anyway, Paul Nelson Music. Check him out, and hopefully we can do a show in person this summer. That would be so cool. I'm going to grab one more cup of coffee and play one more song before we run away. Well, I'm not going to really run anywhere. Let's get that donation link back up. Whoop-de-doo! There it is. Danielle likes it when I do
like
the
sound effect.
the whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, Leslie, Stephen Bishop, for sure. All right, we have had an epically long Coffee with Todd this morning, and I love it. I'm so excited, by the way, for what's coming up on Coffee with Todd. Let me go here real quick. Next week from Burlington, Vermont, we're going to have singer-songwriter Adam Rabin on the show. I'm excited. It's been a couple years since I've really talked with Adam. I was on his podcast a couple of years ago, and it was super fun. And then we've got a whole bunch of artists lined up through February. I'm so excited. And pretty soon, Coffee with Todd, the interviews, is going to be coming to a podcast. Whoa. So much stuff. Oh, my. All right, I'm going to sing a song for Tina. Tina, if you're still there. It is a massive coffee pot, Tracy. Oh, we take our coffee very seriously here at Coffee with Todd. Tina asked for me to sing a song for her. There's so many comments, I don't even know where it's at. But her pet pig. So I'm gonna do this for Tina and Rudy, I think it was. So many comments. I'm going to do this song. I haven't done it for a while, but it's the latest single that I released back in the fall. And some new music is on the way as well. Tune in next week to learn more about that. It's a Sesame Street song. Well, I'd like to visit the moon on a rocket ship high in the air. I'd like to visit the moon, but I don't think I'd like to live there. Well, I could look down on the earth from above, but I miss all the places and the people I love. So though I may go, I'll be coming home soon. I don't want to live on the moon. I'd like to travel the sea. I could meet all the fish everywhere. Yes, I would travel the sea, but I don't think I'd like to live there. I could stay for a day if I had my wish, but there's not much to do when your friends are all fish, and an oyster and clam are not real family. So I don't want to live in the sea. I'd like to visit the jungle, hear the lions roar, go back in time and meet a dinosaur. There's so many strange places I'd like to be, but none of them permanently. So if I should visit the moon, well, I'll dance on a moonbeam, and then I'll make a wish on a star. I will wish wish I was home once again. I could look down on the earth from above, but I miss all the places and the people I love. So though I may go, I'll be coming home soon. I don't want to live on the moon. No, I don't want to live on the moon. Mark, I'm still doing the show. You can't call me while I'm still doing the show. That's that's not how this works. Shouldn't there be some sort of failsafe built into Facebook where that can't happen? I'll call you back after the show, buddy. Well, at least he didn't call during the song. That would have been bad, okay? Oh, Siri yelling at you over there?
Apparently.
What's going on?
I don't know.
What's going on, computers?
Hack of the cyberspace. I don't
It's
know.
all crazy cyber up in here. All right, folks. It has been an amazing morning. I don't even understand it. How cold is it right now? It was -9 when we got up. I think by the time we went on the air, it was -6. Have we warmed up?
3 degrees.
We've gone above 0. We've beat the threshold and we've gone into 3 degrees.
It's supposed to hit 16, and it's going to be sunny all day.
This is the beauty of living in Vermont. It was below 0 this morning, and Friday is supposed to be 40 degrees.
Yeah,
So,
and chance of snow.
and snow on Friday.
It says 36 now, but
And I did this earlier in the show, but for those of you that don't live in Vermont and want to know where in Vermont we live, this piece of paper towel right here that I ripped this morning, oddly, is the shape of Vermont. And we live right about here. And this is Canada. Yeah. Isn't that good?
yeah, that's pretty.
Now, you want to see a trick? I don't do a lot of magic on this show. This is Vermont. Now, ready? New Hampshire.
There you go. I was going to say, you should do New Hampshire for Paul.
Massachusetts.
I think you've covered them all, haven't you?
Wait. Pennsylvania.
Hey!
It's Geography with Todd. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to show your love and support for the show, there is some PayPal and Venmo links down there. You can buy yourself one of these Coffee with Todd coffee mugs in the description up above or below, depending on which streaming platform you're watching on. And always you can buy a CD. I'll sign it and mail it to you. All right. We need to go get some breakfast right now. But we will be back next week here on Coffee with Todd. Same time, same station. With Adam Rabin as our guest. Thank you to Paul Nelson for coming on. It was so great to finally meet Paul. And I can't wait to do some shows with him in person as soon as COVID-19 takes a nap. It's time to take a nap, COVID-19. You're not welcome anymore. You've been a bad house guest, COVID. All right. You all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in each and every week. It means the world to me. I love you guys. Be safe and be well. And we will see you next time here on Coffee with Todd. Cheers, everybody.